Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. This is a video from our Lounging Around series, which is not about PMP certification or any other certification for that matter. These are videos that are going to help you when you are actually delivering projects. These are videos about ground reality of project management. So today we are talking about 5 misconceptions about the daily scrum. Now, daily scrum is a meeting that happens if you're a scrum master, you are the one who is usually facilitating that daily scrum. Should you be facilitating that scrum every single day? That is also one of the misconceptions that we are going to talk about. That is going to be the first one, actually. So stick around. We'll talk about the 5 misconceptions about the daily scrum. You know daily scrum if you are a scrum master, if you're a project manager in working in agile environment, right? So let's take a look at the misconceptions. Quick reminder, please hit the like button and help spread the word about PMC Lounge. Now, the first thing to understand is the Scrum Guide. So, unlike the PMBOK guide, Scrum Guide outlines how teams can learn to work together and deliver complex work in the process. It is not a how-to list of instructions. This is very, very important. A lot of people tend to think that just like the PMBOK guide used to be in the past, Scrum Guide is also a how-to list of what all you should be doing when delivering a project in a Scrum environment. But that is not true, and that is mostly the reason of misinterpretation of the Scrum Guide, because it is not a how-to list, and that is why there are these misconceptions around Scrum that we are going to look at, the daily Scrum that we are going to look at. Scrum Masters must attend all daily Scrums, and I talked about this in the beginning itself. This is a misconception. You as a Scrum Master need not attend every single daily Scrum. You see, as a Scrum Master, you need to ensure that the daily Scrum takes place. That is definitely something that you as a Scrum Master should do. But should you be present every single day to facilitate the meeting? Not really, because end of the day, a daily Scrum is more of a sync up meeting of developers, right? They are the ones who are giving their status. They are the ones who are sharing what issues that they are facing, right? And they are the ones who can actually work among themselves and sort the issues out. So as a scrum master, you need not facilitate and host the daily scrum every single day, but you should ensure that the daily scrum is actually taking place. Other thing is that if your development team, if your scrum team, they need additional coaching and they are struggling to maintain the daily scrum time box, then as a scrum master, by all means, you should be attending the daily scrum, right? But if the developers understand what daily scrum is about, if the developers understand the essence of the daily scrum, then like I said earlier, this is more of a sync up meeting of developers. And if you don't have to provide any coaching, then as a scrum master, it is not mandatory for you to be hosting every single daily scrum. Number two is everyone answers the 3 questions at daily scrum. And this is popular because it is basically a framework, right? What did you do yesterday? What will you do today? And what are any impediments that you may have? Do you have any blockers, right? So these are the 3 questions. It's basically a format. It is a structure of daily scrum. And, you know, the team can follow it for sure. But if they do it, if they do it like a daily drill, then they are missing the point. It's daily scrum is not about just ticking off these 3 questions and every single person answers these 3 questions, right? It is a platform, right? The daily scrum is a platform to inspect progress towards the sprint goal. What is your sprint goal and where are you today? That is what you need to inspect. Then you need to collaborate and basically figure out whether the team needs to change the plan to meet the sprint goal. That's the whole idea about daily scrum. Of course, answering three questions is a good structure of daily scrum. It is a good format to follow, but end of the day, it should not be like every single scrum team member comes in, answers three questions, and does not listen to what other team members have to say, right? They don't collaborate at all. That is not what daily scrum is about. Number three is daily scrum can take place through email or chat. Now, of course, if you are only answering those three questions that we talked about, then your team members might think, well, I might as well answer these three questions over email and we don't really need the daily scrum. But that is not the case with daily scrum, right? Daily scrum improves communication, identify impediments, promotes quick decision making, and consequently eliminate the need for other meetings. This is what daily scrum is supposed to do. Daily scrum is not about answering those three questions which people can answer over email and chat and be done with it, right? When you basically hold daily scrum over email or chat, all the benefits that you see, right, improving communication, identifying impediments, all of these does not take place, right? Even if it's a group chat or email, it is definitely not going to help, but group chat also is not going to help. If your team can actually think that they can replace the daily scrum with an email, you are not doing daily scrum correctly. Quick reminder, if you're looking for book recommendations for your PMP exam, head over to pmclounge.com/resources. We keep this page up to date at all times. Number four is managers are not required to attend daily scrum. Now, of course, the team members, right, in your scrum team members, they may have their own managers. And you might think that managers are not required in the daily scrum. It is possible that you may think, well, if managers join the daily scrum, then your scrum team members might basically not be that open in speaking about their thoughts or sharing ideas, right? Now, sharing ideas, that is very, very important, right? Because that is the essence of daily scrum. Collaborating, working together for the success of the team, working together to meet the sprint goal. Now, it is acceptable for guests, including the product owner and team managers or any other important stakeholder, to be present in the daily scrum. Now, if you think that this might disrupt the daily scrum, or this daily scrum might not go as planned if these people join, then it is your responsibility as a scrum master to ensure that that does not happen. So managers should be attending the daily scrum. It is not that they are not required at all. And in fact, if management is present, they can actually help remove impediments faster. And team members, they don't have to cook the status, right? They can provide the status as it is. They can provide the status transparently uh, to the higher management. So transparency is again one of the values of Scrum, and that is why it is important for managers to present or attend the daily Scrum. Finally, daily Scrum is just another of the many Scrum meetings. And this is something that I actually hear often in real life as well, that, Scrum just has too many meetings and daily Scrum is just one more Scrum meeting, right? One more Scrum event that needs to be taken care of. Now, it is possible that the relevant team members, when you are in a daily scrum, it is possible that the relevant team members, they may have to meet again after the daily scrum to address any issues that were identified during the daily scrum but were not discussed in the daily scrum because of the time box that we have, right? But understand the fact that issues are being caught on early here, and if they are caught on early, they can be resolved fairly quickly. And the developer, if you don't have a daily scrum, it is possible that the developer is going to troubleshoot the issues that he or she is facing, and they might do it alone, right? Because there's no daily scrum, there's a weekly team meeting. So you might get to know the issue after 1 week or 2 week, right? And all this while the developer must have been suffering in silence and must be struggling to sort an issue out, which if there was a daily scrum, he or she could have brought to the notice of other team members fairly quickly, and other team members might have helped him or her, right? So that is why daily scrum, don't treat this as just another of the many scrum meetings that you have. This is a place to collaborate, and this is going to ensure that you don't need those 1 hour long weekly team meetings that never seem to end, right? This is actually avoiding some of the other meetings that you might have to go through if there wasn't a daily scrum. Question for this video: which one of these misconceptions surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and provide your reasoning as well. Why do you think it was a surprise for you? That's all that we had in this video. I hope you got value out of it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon to stay notified every time we upload new content. Smash that like button. It helps us stay motivated. And if you like our work, consider contributing at pmclounge.com/contribute. Thank you.